down.
Coming up, Brazil's Bovespa getting some competition. Up next, we're going to talk to the CEO of a new Brazilian stock exchange that expects to launch next year. And then later, America's Trading System Brazil. That is a joint venture between America's Trading Group and NYSE Euronext, has filed to launch as a new stock exchange in the Brazilian market. Expects to begin trading next year if it gains regulatory approval. Here to talk about the venture, Alan Gandelman, America's Trading System Brazil CEO. People don't know this. There's not enough down there to handle what's happening in Brazil, is there? I mean, these are shocking. 300 stocks, only 10 do 50% of the volume, and then the market's really concentrated. You need liquidity, I think.
Correct. I mean, it's the sixth economy of the world, and the stock exchange market does not fully represent the economy. I mean, we have 360 stocks, which will place us in 23rd place worldwide, in between Vietnam and Mongolia. We have very little retail in our markets, considering a country where the middle class has actually grown a lot in the past few years. About 0.3% of the population only owns stocks. So that will place us also below countries like Kenya, Ghana, or Zambia in terms of the amount of people compared to the total size of the population. And most impressive, despite the fact that it's seen as a decent exchange in terms of turnover and volume, 50% of the volume on the stock exchange market, it's done by 10 stocks.
And you just, the Batista companies, you just lost a couple, right? Were those in the top 10?
On the top 10, there was one, which was OGX, the oil company.
What do you make of Batista? Did he just fool everybody? What happened to you?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think he truly believed. I mean, basically what he did was, he's a very smart guy with a lot of charisma, has made very good investments, and at some point he decided to start drilling oil. He came with a business plan. He basically put a PowerPoint of a business plan, and he IPO'd the PowerPoint of a business plan. And quite frankly, a lot of very smart people got into this IPO, and I'm talking about huge global players, and he truly believed in that.
You think it was just over leverage, expecting there was going to be a lot more oil there?
Yeah, I mean, listen, he had technicians there that sort of told him, listen, that's where you should drill, and that's where you have oil. The problem is not him. I mean, the problem is that a lot of people did buy into him prior that he pumped the first drip of oil.
Hey, Alan, and I got to thank Michelle or MCC for cluing me into a lot of this stuff and these questions. So your current president, Dilma Rousseff, and I don't want you to say, physician, heal thyself to us in the U.S., but apparently this guy is a huge believer in interventionist government. Gosh, I've never heard of that. Why should a outside investor even trust investing in Brazil when you've got someone who's so, where the state is so involved in the economy, where there's so much central planning?
That's a very good question. I mean, first of all,
that's not mine. It's
first of all,
Michelle Cruz-Carrera told me to ask that question.
First of all, it's important to say that prior to Dilma, there was Lula. And prior to Lula, there was Cardoso, the true social democrat. And all the privatizations were done during the Cardoso times. And some companies were left aside, which are the same companies that are there, like Petrobras, Eletrobras. Those companies have not been privatized, even on a social democrat government. So, I mean, it's tough to say that...
so if it hasn't happened yet, it's not going to happen?
I don't think it's going to happen. I mean, for some reason, those are the jewel of the crown, and they would stay government-owned. But
we've had people say avoid Brazil now because of things like this. Can it ever swing back the other way to market? I
think Brazil is never that good, or it's never that bad, quite frankly. And usually the time to get in is when it looks that it's very bad, which is times right now, what is happening. But if you think about it, I mean, we have the World Cup in 2014. We have the Olympic Games in Rio in 2016. Those things do move economy. It's very important. A huge amount of people moved from the above poverty level to middle class. And there's a huge consumption market in Brazil. And that keeps going on. And the economy, you've seen some weird numbers coming out every day showing that things are increasing and things are getting better.
Okay. You know, a stock market will help. I was preaching to the choir here. good luck, Godspeed. And a strong, healthy Brazil is good for
everybody.
Good for the rest of the world.
I worry that the whole Batista thing put a cloud over somebody. That's the.
I don't think it did. I mean, quite frankly,
The socialists are putting it. He was one of the.
A lot
he was
of
trying.
things.
Right.
Thank you for being here.